And Lepore, another thing we have to getting into this third game of the week against the Winnipeg Jets on Friday night, is the play of Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
I mean, holy cow, man. This guy has been unreal. I mentioned it earlier. He is now
Madness.
8-0-0 with a 135 goals against and a 951 save percentage.
It's PlayStation stuff, man.
This is absolutely insane. I mean, this is
he's just so nice.
Honestly, it's fantastic to get this because we have gone so long since we have actually had like really, really good goaltending.
It's been a while.
And Freddie Andersen has had a solid run, not to take anything away from Frederik Andersen. Okay, I know he's had his trouble in the playoffs before, but I mean, he was never like a top 5 goalie in the sport. And the numbers that Campbell is putting up right now, and now,
he's the greatest goalie ever, Bruno.
One of the elite goalies in the league? Do I think he's the best goalie of all time?
Yeah.
No, I don't. But I mean, this is a guy who was a former first-round pick, 11th overall in 2010. Yeah. He has the pedigree. He's bounced around. He's played in the AHL, the ECHL, and now it seems like he's found a home. So, Lepore, just give me your thoughts on this Leafs goaltending situation. Like, has Freddie Andersen officially lost the starting job to Jack Campbell?
Yeah, he has. I was trying to find an answer that I could kind of dance around a bit, but no. Like, it would take, I think at this point, it would take something catastrophic on the way of Campbell's performances. But with Campbell, and I've said it before on the pod, I'm still waiting for his numbers to adjust. So when they adjust and how hard they adjust is going to tell the story here. And that's what we're going to point to, say, next season or seasons in the future, where we look back at what Jack Campbell was as the goalie for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But right now, it'd be absolute craziness to not just ride this. Like can you imagine? Can you imagine this keeps going? Freddie heals up, and we go into the playoffs, maybe there's a few games before the playoffs start, and we put Freddie in, and even if he does okay, and we start a playoff series with Jack Campbell on the bench, if things even semi keep going the way they're going. And I'll say this too, man, like you hate to bring this to what I'm about to say, but to do that would be a lot of fucking balls for Sheldon Keefe and Kyle Dubas. Like, can you imagine Campbell he's not going to keep going the way he's going, but if he finishes the season strong and then you turn to Freddie, and let's face it, if they turn back to Freddie, it'll be like out of respect and because of the dollars factor, which is fucking bullshit. And, teams and organizations do that. They show respect in those cases, when they absolutely should not. I mean, this sports is about W's, but it would take a lot of balls for a coaching staff and a management team to point to a goalie who's been out, not played as well, and to have a goalie on the bench who's played as well as Campbell has. Because if shit hits the fan and Freddie does not play well and this team was to lose, say, in the first round, that's a big slap in the face to everyone. And the media would have an absolute fucking field day. So I just don't think we'll get there. Like, I just think with how this is going right now, and especially with Freddie being done in Toronto, I mean, everything pointing to him being done as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs, to me, I'd be absolutely shocked if this went another way. I mean, it'd be a whole other discussion if this team's even going to have Frederik Andersen after the deadline. I mean, I'm not going to go absolutely crazy there, but I just look at it and see the way I see the Toronto Maple Leafs right now is I see a team where Jack Campbell is the starting goalie.
Lepore, I think you absolutely nailed it. I think it's gotten to a point now that he has forced the hand of Sheldon Keefe specifically, and Kyle Dubas, if you want to loop him into that as well. There's no way that Sheldon Keefe is the head coach of this hockey team with the way that Jack Campbell has been playing. There is absolutely no way, and there is no reason for him to go back to Freddie Andersen at this point. And you brought up a great point, Lepore. Are we going to see some regression from Jack Campbell? Yes, of course we are.
Imagine we don't.
I mean, it's possible. There's only 19 games left this season, and it's it's in very short sample sizes. Like you could get like extraordinary results in very short sample sizes, and that's what we're seeing right now from Campbell. But
Yeah.
Earth to everyone, he has a 951 save percentage. He's not going to finish the season with a 951 save percentage. He's just not.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point that's going to come down, but even if that comes down to like a 930 save percentage, I mean, he's having the best year of his career right now. And I know it's only been 8 games, but here's how you got to think about it. So let's say Campbell continues to play well. Let's say over the next, I don't know, Lepore, 5 games, right? So that's 13 games in total. Let's say he's like 11-2, right? And his save percentage maybe dips a little bit, but it's still among like the elite in the league. How at that point, when Freddie Andersen is healthy again, let's say, because let's say within, the next couple of weeks, Andersen's back to full health. We got our 2 goalies. How at that point can you just turn to Andersen and say the net is yours again?
No,
when he's in the final year of his contract, he's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. He has not been playing well this year, a save percentage under 900. Like we've said several times on this show, he is having the worst season of his NHL career. How on earth does Sheldon Keefe, who I believe, and I think you believe, is a very, very sharp guy and a very, very good head coach, how on earth could he turn back to Freddie Andersen at this point?
He can. Something, and this kind of sums it up, but sort of like a life thing that I always try to use. It sounds kind of cheesy, is that quite often throughout your life, you're in positions where things aren't in your control and someone has to make a decision. The thing I always think about is that try to put yourself in a position where the person making the decision has no choice but to pick you. Like, I'll use a hockey example. Well, if you're trying out for a hockey team and there's a scrimmage and you score 5 goals, well, you've put them in a position where they have no choice but to pick you. You fucking scored 5 goals. What Jack Campbell has done, he's put the organization in a position where they have no choice but to pick him. He's undefeated. It's not even like, oh, this is no, he's undefeated. They have no choice but to pick him. So he's got it. He's done it. That's it. Game over. We're done
really
here.
Is as simple as that. Like, the Leafs have no choice. Like, the media will cause a shitstorm if it goes back to Andersen. Like, the fans are going to be
crazy.
In an uproar. Like, it's going to be crazy. I mean, especially like you said, Lepore, he hasn't lost a game. He's undefeated. Yeah. How do you move away from that? He's undefeated with that save percentage, playing the way he's been playing. I mean, there's just no way in hell. And it really, truly is as simple as that. Freddie Andersen, it's going to take Jack Campbell to suffer an injury. Essentially.
Which we're kind of worried about. It seems like every time he goes down, the commentators remind us about that leg thing.
Exactly. And, like I mentioned earlier in the show, how when Hutchinson played that first game of the week against Edmonton, reports were coming out that they were managing Campbell's workload. He's sore. He could be dealing with something. The commentators are saying on the broadcast that it could be a leg issue. Listen, we don't have all the information on that, and who knows? But the way he's been playing, it doesn't look like he's injured. Lepore.
Yeah, I'd love to see him at 100%.
Yeah, exactly. He maybe wouldn't let in a goal all season if he was 100%.
Fuck.
Jesus. But yeah, I mean, the goaltending's been awesome.